everyone, it's Max and welcome to my October TBR. Can we believe it's already October? I can't. I am wearing my most festive shirt. It is orange. Obviously, that's about as festive as I can get. I forgot to even try to look for my light up pumpkin earrings. Like, totally forgot about them. I have no idea where they are anyways, but here we are. So in the month of October, I am planning on spooky books, thriller books, and then just some of my regular books that I've been reading each month. So let's just jump right into it. I'm not planning on participating in any readathons. I do have a secret reading vlog planned for the end of the month, so fingers crossed that I'm able to read all these books and get to it. But yeah, so I'm just kind of mood reading all of my spooky horror novels that I own. The first two books I'm going to talk about are the 9th and 10th books in the October Day series. I am reading 2 books of these this month so that in November I don't have to read anything but nonfiction. That is my plan. And so I've got the 9th or the 10th and 11th books, actually. I think it is. I'm a mess. I think it's the 10th and 11th books. That would make most sense, wouldn't it? I believe that the 10th book is The Brightest Spell and the 11th book is Once Broken Faith, but honestly, it might be switched. This is a series about a half-fae named October Day who at the beginning of the series is turned into a fish for 14 years. When she wakes up, she decides to separate herself from fairy, like the fairy life, and she becomes a PI. But when her closest fae friend dies and tasks her with finding her murderer, she's thrown back into the thick of it. I love this series so much. I love Toby, I love Tybalt, I love every supporting character out there. I am having such a great time with this series. Each book keeps getting better and I can't wait to read these two. And then for my other challenge book, I am getting to the Last Trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, which starts with A Little Hatred. Honestly, I don't even know what this is about. It is the 3rd trilogy of Joe Abercrombie set in this world. But I'll just read. War, politics, revolution, the age of madness has arrived. So, I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say because honestly, I feel like everything else could be spoilers because of like, this is the 3rd trilogy and everything leads to everything else in this series. But I'm hesitant. I have loved one Joe Abercrombie book. Everything else has kind of been meh for me, but I am finally onto this Last Trilogy and all the books are out, so if I don't enjoy this trilogy, that is it for me for Joe Abercrombie, because that's 9 books. And if by this point I'm not loving his books, then I need to stop. But the only reason why I've continued on is because it is a challenge for me, like a monthly book challenge. And also I own all of them. So I'm like, okay, like I own them all, let's read them. And we're finally into some beautiful covers, like actually colorful, like really nice. The rest of the series are pretty boring, but you know, that's fine. So we'll see how this goes. All right, now none of these books go in any order. I just have them all in a bag, so I'm just pulling them out. So the next book I'm talking about is The Silent Wife by Karen Slaughter. I have not read one Karen Slaughter book, but she is a very, very prolific mystery thriller writer. I have heard very divisive things about her books. If she's the one who wrote like Pretty Girls or whatever, I've heard people either love it or hate it. And I am just really intrigued. I got this from Costco for my mom and then I was like, maybe I'll read it. So there is a riot that results in a killing in a state penitentiary. He finds out that one of these people that like just an inmate thinks that he is like innocent. He's like, listen, I've been locked up. Why would I lie? He's like, I'm innocent. And so I think he tries to figure out what actually happened and it's involved with, I think, the riot or something that's happening today. Obviously, it has been a long time since I read this synopsis. I'm just trying to glean like keywords from this, but I'm hoping y'all enjoy it. Yeah, next book, it might be the book that I am most nervous for, and that is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. This was on my intimidating TBR book tag that came out last week, and that's just because I have read one short story by him and hated it. I hated Mannequin so much that I am really nervous about this. I believe this kind of has a killing of the sacred deer situation where Native Americans kill a deer and now it's like a while later and like something's happening, I believe. I'm just like nervous. It's short, so like if I don't love it, it's short, so it's like only 303 pages, so you know, like whatever, if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm not spending that much time on it, but I do hope to enjoy it. I know Kayla from Books and La enjoyed this, but she also really liked Mannequins, so like, but I am hoping this has a better premise, and I am hoping to enjoy it. All right, the next two books I'm going to talk about are from the same author. I only have one with me because my mom is reading the other one, but that is The Silent Patient and The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. So The Silent Patient is about a woman who people believe she killed her husband, but she is like refusing to talk, and I think she's becoming this like case study of this psychologist. And then The Maidens, it takes place in college where a professor believes that this other professor killed a girl, but he's got this like fan base, and so like something's going on and she's trying to get to the bottom of it. I've heard good things about this, but very divisive things about The Maidens. But I think it's like if people love this, then they usually don't like The Maidens and vice versa. If I had to choose, I hope not to like this one, but to like The Maidens, because The Maidens seems much more up my alley. And then the last book on my TBR is one that I think I'm most excited about, and that is The Helm of Midnight by Marina Lostetter. Reagan from Prose Project recently read this and had a reading blog, and she really liked it, so I'm really excited. And there are 3 timelines here, and I'm only going to talk about 2. So one is present day, where this group of people steal the helm of this monster or this serial killer or something, and now they're being haunted by this serial killer or monster who wants his helm. Then in the past, we follow that monster serial killer as he's alive, and then we have this other storyline that doesn't seem to connect, that I think is in the middle of the 2 timelines, but like obviously it's going to. I'm very excited. It just seems like the perfect book to read in October. I bought it recently, and it's just, I've been having my eye on it for so long that I'm just like ready to read it ASAP. I'm so excited, especially after Reagan from Prose Project enjoyed it. We have similar reading tastes that I am hoping to just love this. We'll see. I hope I do. The next book I'm going to talk about is the audiobook that I want to read this month, and that is Nosferatu by Joe Abercrombie. I'm just like intrigued. There's vampires. It's very famous. Joe Abercrombie is a very famous, not Joe Abercrombie, Joe Hill. Sorry about that. Joe Hill is a very famous horror novel writer. I really don't like Stephen King's writing. It's really not for me, but I'm trying to get more into horror, so I'm kind of trying to like circumnavigate him to like get to like other famous horror novels and authors, and Joe Hill definitely pops up a lot. Sorry, my hair is also wet, so I think it looks bad, but it's wet, so that's why I had it in a braid to give it some like texture, and instead it's just looking weird. But anyways, I'm intrigued for sure. And then there's a TV show, so I kind of want to listen to the audiobook and then watch the TV show. The next book I'm going to talk about is an ARC that I have, but I don't think it's an ARC. I think it's like a release of like a new cover. That's Pearl by Josh Malerman, who wrote The Ocean at the End of the Lane, or At the Bottom of the Lake. The House at the Bottom of the Lake, my goodness, I'm a mess. It's fine. That I loved by him, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was so good, so creepy. But I've also read Bird Box by him, and I didn't love it. I really liked the idea, but I didn't love the execution. But Pearl is about this family who believe they are being haunted, or kind of like their minds are being controlled by their pig named Pearl. We'll see. And then the last book I'm going to talk about is a book that my dad wants me to read, and so like I like never read books that he's like, you should read this, just because I never like can fit them on my TBR. But it is a mystery, and so that is Improbable Fortunes by Jeffrey Price. I think it has to do with cowboys and a murder mystery, and like, I don't know, there's all this stuff that happens. I literally know nothing else. My dad was very vague, and I have not read the synopsis. It's also long, so I'm not going to read it right now, but he really, really liked it. It's one of the best books he's read recently, so we'll see how this goes. I literally have no expectations. I've never even heard of this book. Like, there's nothing in my mind influencing how I think I'm going to enjoy it, because like my dad and I do not read similar things, so like I'm not even gonna say I think I'm gonna like it because he liked it. Who knows? we'll see. All right, everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this kind of mishmash video. I just, you know, I was kind of like, all right, I've got some spooky atmospheric thriller books. Well, October's the month to do it. So here I am trying to read every mystery, thriller, spooky book I have on my TBR. But I hope you all enjoyed, and stay tuned for reading vlogs where I read all of these books, and I will see you soon with another video. Bye.